Well, here's a low odds setup of sorts. I've flown it before. Grain bins here. God forbid pigeons come out of there. But there's a field of peas over there that's been harvested and sort of 30 yards from the edge of this brush. It's a draw that runs right through this guy's land. It's a great setup actually when there's wheat stubble, but anyway, the Huns are going to get up and they're going to head straight to the draw. There's tall cover, so they could potentially dump on the falcon, but I'm going to give it a shot. And we'll see how this goes. As I come over this rise, they're going to be to my left, not too far out. The falcon is to my right, climbing really nicely, and that's good because it will maybe stop them going that way, which is where all the deep cover is in the distance. So I'm going to try and get just past them a bit and then push them back that way. I don't have the dogs with me. I may regret that, but I think they're somewhere here. It's very hard when you lose the spot where you saw them from and you lose the triangulation. Then it's very hard to figure out where they are. But my gut tells me they're in this little bit of tall peas right here. Oh, they were to the side of me, damn it. There they go, down the valley, just as I had feared. Oof, that was a hard hit and pitch up, but he's not going to see them. And this is where it all goes to hell. He's flying good. I don't know what he's seen, but he's flying after something. No, he's remounting. Good. I will back off, drive around the other side, and put the dogs in. Oh, there they go. Which one? I don't even know where he is. Oh, he pounded another one. It's such a shame because this plays out exactly how I anticipated. And he pitched up again. Damn it. I'm gonna have to call him back because this is futile. I was kind of hoping, and the reason I took it frankly is because it's a safe setup. There's no fences, wires, no nothing, but there is tall cover, and that's the problem. In the Huns, even when he hits them down, they're in 3 feet tall grass, so it's kind of a waste of time. That's a shame. He was up really nice. He was just over 200 and something meters. Anyway, I'm going to try and call him in. This is the trouble. He rarely misses. And so when he does, he comes right back and mounts up. And he's done that like he should have. He's hanging up there 200 plus meters. And he's wondering why I'm not reserving him. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to hopefully feed him a little bit. Got to go to the rifle range while I'm this far east, and then I'll fly him this afternoon. Well, that's how it goes sometimes. I kind of knew going into that flight what I was letting myself in for. And I've caught 1 or 2 partridge over the years in this spot, but it's usually been when there's snow, so a little bit easier to catch. Particularly if the snow is crusted, because when the falcon pounds it down, it's visible, whereas just now he's hit down 2 at least, maybe 3 Huns, and lost them in tall cover. And of course then he remounted again, went up very nicely, 700 feet and change I think, but I couldn't serve him, and I wasn't going to go running around looking for stray Huns to flush. So it took him probably 5 minutes to figure out that even though he remounted very nicely on the second remount, third remount, that I wasn't gonna serve him. I put the dogs away, which means all the fun stopped. It's amazing the cues that the falcons pick up on. But I put the dogs away, and then I threw out the lure, and he's just beautiful. He's doing everything he should do, and he doesn't quite get it. But then after several minutes, he thought, okay, fine, and he just set his wings and comes straight down. So I gave him some food, the liver and heart, and a bit of the leg of the quail I had. That should tide him over for several hours. I'm gonna continue on east. I'm kind of multitasking today. Hawking, of course, my primary objective. Now I'm looking for a prairie to try and trap. I have some voluntoles in the back. And then I'm going to make it out to the rifle range to test some loads that I've been developing for some rifles I own. And I'll be right in the middle of the hawking territory. So on the way back, I'll try and find another flight. See how we go. See a covey of huns, probably 400 yards out there. And I don't have permission here, but it's Hutterite land. And I am going to risk it for a biscuit and rely on my good looks, charm, and modesty to get me out of it if I get stopped. Seriously, they're good folks. But I'm going to walk in there and fly these. I can get a scent, but he hasn't nailed them yet. They're right ahead, I'm sure of it. Yep. Oh, the falcon's up nice. Maybe the dogs have it. Maybe they're right here. Find the birds. Come on, get them up. Get them up. Get them up. Find the birds. Come. Find them. Find them. Find them. Nobody. Oh, there goes them. Right under my feet. Let's watch this. Oh, that one's not doing too. Grab! Grab! Whoa! Oh, it's not going anywhere. It's hurting. Griff! That was good. You know, I should stop filming these things and just look up and watch the flight. Good boy, Griff. Good job. Good job, falcon, chopping away. Well, that worked just perfectly. Good job. So, look at that, Weston. Milo, come. I want to get these dogs under control. Oh, it's a hen. Stay. Thank you, Milo, for taking a dump at the site. Good job. That was a great flight. Another 600-700 foot pitch. He knows to wait on right above. Griff, stay. Whitehares have no concept of their personal space. Anyway, that was great. Nice ending. I passed up 3 or 4 flights today because of safety. And I'm on my way actually to the colony to secure permission for these fields. They're as you can see, they're as good as it gets. And I spotted these huns in the middle of the field. It's peas, so there's not much cover. Anyway, well, that was good. That was a great flight. What can you ask for more than this? I mean, look at it. So, couldn't resist it, to be honest. Covey huns, middle of nowhere, field of peas. And he went up beautifully, came down, made it look surgical. He hit that hun, as he's done many times, and certainly 3 times already this morning. But it just lay there on the field, flopping. It wasn't going to get up and go like some of them do. So all the more why we sometimes should go and check in on a bird that's been hit down and make sure that it hasn't been killed, as in this case. But that was a female. It's the first time I've caught caught a female in many flights. Most of them are cock huns, because usually that's the first bird that gets up. And of course is the one that the falcon selects. So, well, that was great. Now I got to go find a prairie if I can, which is unlikely, but you won't know unless you try. I got some voluntoads in the truck. I've been to the rifle range, grouped my rifles, and tonight I think I'm going to actually bow hunt in a spot, see if I can fill one of my tags. Life is good when you're retired. Well, unlike a lot of farmers, when you're looking for the landowners of this land in this vast landscape, it's very difficult to actually find who owns the land. I mean, there's an app that states the name, but it doesn't state where they live. But as far as Hutterites are concerned, that isn't difficult. Usually you'll find them like in the distance, you'll find a large colony, and Hutterites, they're like live on a sort of a commune. It's a religious order, I believe, of German heritage. And great people, really good to deal with, very straight-laced, honest. But they live in a community all unto themselves, and they're incredibly efficient at farming, and they own lots and lots and lots of land, and they have all the latest equipment, all the right tools to do the job, and the labor, of course, is free. Everything gets retained in the colony. And so I understand it, because it's a religious order, they actually don't pay taxes. A bit like a church, like the Vatican. I'm sure they must pay some taxes, but anyway, they're incredibly successful and probably very wealthy, and they buy up lots of the smaller farms. And so I have several Hutterite colonies. They're all independent, that are I have permissions with, and each one of these colonies has several thousand acres each. And I'm just about to visit this one and get permission. You can see the extent of it. It's no small operation, and a lot of those outbuildings are sheds for cattle or grain bins and equipment, and of course their residences, which look a bit like an army barracks, to be honest, and they're very plain, simple people. They don't have anything lavish in their rooms like pictures or paintings. They live a very simple life, but truly good people to deal with. And we'll see how I get on with getting permission here. I'm fairly confident it'll be okay. But here it goes. I'm going to pull in and see what comes of it. You see the size of these grain bins and the operation. I don't know how many acres this colony is, but I'm about to find that out. This is very hard for some of my Western friends out in Europe and the UK to sort of conceptualize, but this is the sort of countryside that we have to choose to hawk from. Of course, there are places, particularly with cattle, that have fences, but this area, there's no fences. It's just a wide expanse of open crop fields and some low-level areas like there's running down there in the distance. And all this is great cover for game birds to nest or seek shelter from, and yet the grain fields are a source of food. So this is about 90 kilometers from my home, and I'm prepared to make this trip if I have to every time in order to get flights, and it's well worth the drive. Well, by way of follow-up from the early part of this video, I just left the colony a short while ago, and as I anticipated, I did get permission. I have permission on several colonies in my old hawking territories, but this one is in the furthest southernmost tip, actually southeast of where the further south of my existing hawking permissions. It's 90 kilometers from home, which is a fair trek to go hawking for one bird a day, but I'll do it if it means I can go to get safe and reliable setups, which I can find at home, but it's very few and far between. The Hun numbers are definitely way down this year, right across Alberta and Saskatchewan. Some parts of southeastern Alberta are looking okay, but Anyway, the numbers are down, so I am having to increase the permissions, and this is another 5 or 6,000 acres I've just got. And the reason I'm so excited is because they're primarily cereal crop farmers instead of cattle, so there's very few fences. It's rolling hills, so there's lots of low-level land which has cover, and that's what Huns love, particularly in the winter and nesting periods. So while I was just about to make this video and finish off, a friend of mine just phoned me and said he's got a Tearsall prairie coming into his trap. I'm just pulled over looking at some high tension power lines to see if I can see some prairies sitting on those, but I'm not having the same luck as he is, for reasons I can't really tell. But anyway, so far the day is working out pretty good. The falcon's flown well both times, and we caught a hun, and I was successful at the rifle range in testing my load developments. And now I just gotta find a prairie, so that will just make my day. And if I don't, well, there's always tomorrow. And tonight I'm gonna try and see if I can shoot a deer.